Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord put a sign upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. That is the first pages of the Bible. You know, it's all done, you know, God made it all nice. Then someone fucked it up. So what do we do with that motherfucker? We mark him. That everyone sees that he was the one fucking it up. Now we think, oh yeah, it's the Christians, you know, typical. That's what they do. No. It's a lot of culture actually doing that. Tattooing as punishment. And but let's maybe, before we go into all the harsh stuff, let's maybe talk about a controversy in Christianity. There's one side of Christianity that says, okay, tattoos, no heaven, that's it, you're out, you know, and they base it on this. But then there's another side. No. There's another passage in the New Testament when he's actually a man with attitude. When Paul says, on my own body are scars that prove I belong to Christ Jesus. So I don't want anyone to bother me anymore. So he makes a very clear statement, you know. He says that something on his body, he doesn't explain it more. That something on his body is modified that clearly shows that he's a Christian. And we really can see the attitude there. He says, that's it, you know, don't piss me off. I'm Christian. You can see it, everyone can see it. End of the story. So, what do we do with that? Is it good now, or is it bad? And I think, especially Christianity is a good sign, or like a good example of how values also change. In the Old Testament, we have a very wrathful, hateful God, you know, that destroys people, burns cities and everything. In the New Testament, the whole thing is suddenly all peace, love, harmony, and hippie stuff, you know. So there we can see, you know, it's one book, or at least they say it's one book. It's for the people of God, but there's in that book already is two different values. You know. But how does Paul actually get to that? Why does he do that? And there's a theory behind it. There was a man who did not particularly like the Christians. That was our good old friend Nero, because he played the old trick. Oh, they burned a very important building down. Let's kill them. We all heard the story in different cultures, right? And it is most probably that the Christians in the Roman Empire got marked, you know, for being, you know, it reminds us on some yellow stars on jackets or something like that, you know. But most probably it also was like that it changed. That it in the beginning was a punishment tattoo, you know, you belong to the people that burned Rome down, you know, so we have an eye on you, we can see who you are. That it actually turned into some kind of pride, you know, that they say, yes, I got the mark, you know, I'm in, I'm one of these guys. And that is one of the theories why Paul says it. And there's also another one that maybe it was like that the early Christians tried to be like Jesus and gave themselves the marks in the hands and on the feet. But we don't know. We don't know. There is in the Bible again. There's one thing where it actually says tattooing, where it clearly says tattooing. That again is also in the Old Testament, and it also says why people tattooed themselves. It's Leviticus, and it says, I forbid you to shave any part of your head or beard, or to cut and tattoo yourself as a way of worshipping the dead. I am the Lord. You see? That is the old thing, you know. Why should we do it? Because I said, I am the Lord. But it tells us something about the culture surrounding at the time. And that is the time when the Yahweh cult really gets established, you know, when they really start spreading out and ruling. But we have tribes in there, the Assyrians and the Egyptians, for example, you know, and that was all tattooing people. The Bedouins still do it in that area today. And I think, or I believe, that that is one of the, where the tattoo becomes political, you know, where you really say, this is forbidden for our people. You know, you're not one of us. You're out. And I think we can go over to the next picture. Maria? Yes, here we have medieval Christian tattoo designs. It's also again about the symbolism. What does it mean? I think the majority of you is familiar with Christian designs. We all know the cross and the scene when they take Jesus away from the cross. Very typical. And here we have the archangel. Who's that? Michael, who's killing the dragon, I think? I don't know. And then, of course, the Mother Maria is very important. My Mother Maria just disappeared. No problem.
Multitasking.
And the next picture should also show, yeah, more elaborated stuff. It's like we know that the Christians received tattoos from the different pilgrim places where they went, you know, in order to show, okay, I did it, you know, I was there. And there's also we know from monks that had tattoos. There is this guy called Heinrich Suso. He was living in from 1295 till 1366. He had Jesus tattooed on his chest. Weirdly enough, you would think, now you heard about Paul, you know, the man with the attitude, and you know, tattooed people are kind of cool, you know, and you would think, oh, okay, he was probably a nice guy. No, he was not. He was a part of the Dominicans, Dominican order, and they brought out later on the Malleus Maleficarum, which is the foundation for all the witch hunts in Europe, and terrible and like indescribable things that were done to women at the time. And the part of the Malleus Maleficarum is to find the mark of the witch, because the devil marks the witches. That is also something that really underflows in there, you know. So these people still have it in them. This thing that you can recognize by a mark, the one that is cast out, evil, bad, you know. Yes. Christian tattooing is also, there's a nice passage from one of my absolute favorite cultures, the Vikings crossed into. There's the Battle of Hastings in 1066, and the last Anglo-Saxon king of England dies in that battle, Harold Godwinson. And that battle is like a proper early medieval battle. That is really, really messy, you know. And when they clean up, they can't tell friend from foe, you know. So they pick up one guy, you know, and no one knows who he is, but his wife. She recognizes him, although his face is completely smashed and everything, because he has the name of wife and country on the chest, as a good king should have, right? So, and yeah, that is in 1066. We still have. Can I have the next picture? Yes. That is also something really remarkable. That is a girl from one of the Balkan states. I think she's Bosnian. It is not very old. We still have people alive in Bosnia who have these types of tattoos, and they're all Christian. And when you ask them why they do these tattoos, by the way, they do that to the young girls in between 13 to 16 when they bleed for the first time. Then they get the tattoos. And when you ask them why they do that, they say, "Yeah, it's beautiful. We always did that. It's a Christian thing." So we get to the we always did that point later. But these people live in the area where we have Christianity and Islam permanently grinding on each other. And they say that they do that in order to show that they are Christian people. Now I can see that there's a very, 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 very clear Christian cross. Yes, I agree to that. But that one here, for example, when I read my good old Icelandic magic books from the medieval time, that says that is a symbol that chases out evil spirits. So, what the fuck? I mean, that looks pretty pagan to me. And also, again, here we have the sun symbols. Very important, clearly visible. If anyone tries to tell me that that is not the sun, no matter how smart he is, I have to say you're quite an idiot, right? Can I have the next picture, please? This is Stone Age pottery from the same area. We always did that. We go to the next picture. I think this is one of the most beautiful tattoo cultures on the planet, the Maori. And I also think that that man is, it's just an amazing picture.